lot about what's happening now because I've been away from Fairfax and Essential Baby since August last year. So stay in touch with the guys there, which is fantastic.
So does that mean you sold the business for them?
So I sold the business. So effectively I started in 1999, built the business up over a number of years, having no idea what I was doing at all. Started not even using the internet, and a friend said, I've got some software, do you want to test my software to let you build your own website? And I said, sure, why not? I want to do something different. So I kind of started building this website a long, long time ago. Built it over lots and lots of years and just found that people started coming to it. So obviously we had the beautiful position of being a very early entrant into the market. No one else knew what they were doing at the time either. So while I thought I really knew nothing, I don't think anyone knew much at all. So got away with going for years and years with building this community and building a business online. And I guess some years into that started taking it really, really seriously, kind of hit a point of saying, we've got a really strong community here, we've got a really strong audience, we've got a retail concept as well, we have an online store, we have a physical shop front that we'd opened, and realised we had a serious business. So it took me a long time into that business to really get serious and start really taking the whole thing seriously. But at the point we did, it became a really wonderful vehicle to learn lots and lots and lots about, developing that business and growing. And then in 2007 ended up being, well in 2006 ended up in discussions with Fairfax, and by 2007 we sold to Fairfax Digital. So went through a year and a half period with Fairfax Digital, which was the integration period where we really, I guess got that business working with Fairfax. And again, that was another great experience for us, more because I always wondered if that business could work in a corporate environment. And now that I've left, I keep in touch with the staff in there who are lovely, and all these lovely people from Fairfax that I get to see every now and then. But the business works in there, it's working, it's thriving, it's doing really, really well, and it's got a great team operating it in Fairfax.
They've obviously got you look at the Fairfax digital site, they've got a solid portfolio of businesses. One of the guys that shares an office on my floor created Stays,
yep.
the Z.com, Chris Sharkey, and sold it to Fairfax. Now, I'm sure that a lot of women in here who are running online businesses would have some sort of, could I see a show of hands maybe of someone who has aspirations of selling their business eventually when it becomes, is that, yeah? That was me. For those women, what would you say specifically are the key things, key boxes they have to tick to be able to approach either a venture capitalist or an investor or a buyer?
Well, I mean, I think every business is going to be different. So I think, just because you're online, there's not going to be one hard and fast rule. I think, you need to have an understanding of what it is you're building, who your audience is, and who would be interested in that audience. For me, I mean, I guess I can mostly talk from personal experience. And for me, I really went for a lot of years kind of building and building and building. And one day, funnily enough, someone said, read the E-Myth. And I read the E-Myth one day and went, oh my God, like I've found God. It was like something that just kind of pulled everything together and said to me, stop dithering, like stop just getting through, take it seriously, pin down what you're doing, decide what you're doing, and work out a better way to do it, find the better ways to do it. And once I started doing that, I then started going through some process of doing more sort of goal setting and planning, and put together some plans, and had a 3 to 5 year plan in terms of either an exit strategy or a growth strategy that said, over this period of time, I know that I can get to this point, and if I can get to that point, then here's the options for the next point. But it gave me the options to exit, and that for me was crucial. That was the key point for me that said, this is now, I understand the path, I understand where to go, and I understand I'll still have to move on that path, but at least I have a direction and I'm really clear on what I have to do next.
Kylie, I might ask you one more question. This might be, hopefully it's a relevant one. You started in 1999, and you said that you went for a long period really not knowing what you were doing. Yeah, and that's, I think I can identify with that as well for a period of time. But there comes...
Sorry. I think we all recognise the theme. You're in the right place.
Actually, there's a HBO executive there, I think. But so how in that time where you didn't really know what you were doing, you were just doing it, where the business wound up, could you ever have foreseen it winding up that way?
I think deep down I always believed it was possible. And
did you have a different vision for the business? Was it going to be delivering something else?
I think the challenge for me was that when I started building, and then kind of the site kind of morphed into this bigger site than it was ever going to be. So it became, rather than a site selling something, it became an information portal and a point where people could make contact with each other and talk to each other. And then as that was building, the dot-com crash happened. First dot-com crash happened, you know. So, you know, everything just died off for us. So where, you know, there was an intention of building a revenue stream. So I had, you know, I had a, you know, I say I knew nothing. I had a sense of what I was doing. I didn't really know how to get there, but I kind of knew what I was trying to achieve. But we had this dot-com crash that meant every advertiser just said, we're not going near a baby website. We're not touching any websites. And then went off down a retail path. So I ended up kind of being a retailer. So I guess for me, as we built the audience, I always had a sense that somewhere down the track, I knew that what we were building had value. I knew that it was strong, and I knew that people kept coming back. I mean, they just kept coming back, and it didn't really matter what we did. They kept coming back. We went through a period where we said, we can't focus on this website for a while because it's taking every resource we've got. We don't have the funds for it. And we kind of stopped focusing on the website and focused on the retail side. And I say the website is in the community and the online forums and the energy that had to go into that focused on retail. And while we did that, it kept growing. It just kept growing and it kept building. And then we kind of had to come back and say, look, we don't have an option. You know, we can't stop it. So I knew that it was strong. I knew that it was strong and it could get somewhere big. I didn't really know where.